Hey, welcome back, guys, and guess who's back? Oh, Ashley Chaney. And we have a special guest in the studio. Coming up next, Netflix Picks.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Excellent, sometimes. Hey, guys.
Hey!
Hi. Yes.
Yes!
All around.
Are our viewers old enough to remember this? Anybody? Anybody?
I mean, hey, if you guys are from
Just Rick.
1974, come on, really? If you guys are from 1974, you might recognize this theme song.
Aw. This was playing when Rick was 10 years old.
Yeah, right,
So he's
exactly,
super excited to hear it
exactly.
again.
But I was 10 years old in 2010, so I don't get it.
Wow, yeah.
Maybe our guest was, but. Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching Netflix Picks here. Welcome to the family edition. We are talking Benji, which is not necessarily a new thing, but an old thing, revisited, rebooted, remade. And I'm Rick Hong, and I'm joined by my panel. I've got Ashley Chaney back in the house.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to be back. Did you miss me as much as I missed you? I missed you. Hi.
Nah,
And I think we're going to say classic instead of old. I think let's go with
Classic, yeah, classic.
Right?
Okay, okay.
Classic.
And we got Amy Cassandra Martinez.
Hi!
And next to her, we've got our very special guest, lead actor of the new Benji, Gabriel Bateman.
Hello.
Welcome.
This is the only guy that we've ever had wearing a suit on set, you guys. Come on. This is
love,
class right
I
here.
love it. There are polka dots and just like check.
Such a young man.
I really love
young
it.
man.
I wasn't really sure what to wear, but
Oh, you pulled it off perfectly. This was the perfect choice.
And you have a pocket square as well.
this was so hard to do.
The pocket
It
square?
looks amazing.
Well, because the pockets always come sewed up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You're never supposed to really use the pockets.
No,
Okay.
you got to cut it open for the
Well,
pocket.
now here's the real trick. So, Gabriel, so like what I want to know is...
Wait. Don't take fashion advice from Rick Hong first and
hold on.
foremost.
What I want to
I mean,
know...
he looks pretty stylish.
well, no, I got my hipster pineapple. Anyways, so how old are you?
13.
You're 13?
Yeah.
Okay. So that tie, did you tie it? Is it a clip-on? Does it have like a little elastic?
Oh,
it's a secret.
good for you. Good for you. That's
kid's
right.
going-
No, because the reason I asked you that question is I think I must have been your age when I actually learned how to tie a real tie. I remember when 6th grade, I was graduating from grade school, and I had the clip-on. I had the clip-on, so it wasn't until I got to junior high where I actually learned how to and I'm still no good at it.
I think I've learned it like 3 times, but I always forget. I just have to re-look up every time I have to do it. So I guess I can't really say that I've learned it.
Hey, that's okay. Do you YouTube it? Do you watch on YouTube?
I just watch a video.
See, I didn't have YouTube. No, you know what's funny is I didn't have YouTube. I had to get my mom to come into the room, and my mom...
I told you guys he was 10 in 1974.
Yeah, right, exactly. I told you I was 10 in 2010. So my mom came into the room, and she realized that she doesn't know how to tie ties either. So my dad had to come in and do the tie. But now I do ties every now and then, and that knot still doesn't work for me. But
Can you tie your husband's tie, Amy? Now that we're all on the tie subject.
You know, no.
Yeah, it's hard.
No,
I have no idea how to do it.
I think I've done
Really?
it, but there are different ways of doing it. I know that.
And you
yeah,
have to
right.
do it
I
backwards.
only know how to do it in one way.
There's
so.
Windsor, and then there's the other ones. So I know the super simple one, but it doesn't look that good.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
no idea.
Ties,
Well,
man.
Ties, man.
Well, Gabriel, I'm curious because I want to talk all about you. So you say you're 13. What I want to know is how old were you when you first started acting?
9.
You were
9.
so you've only been acting for 4 years.
Yeah, but 4 years is like a quarter of his life.
No, but I mean, well, no. Here's the other thing, though. But you come from a line of brothers and sisters that are all actors.
Not all of them. Only the last 3, I guess. Well, the last 3 and my second oldest sister.
Back it up. How many siblings do you have?
5 brothers and 3 sisters.
So you're almost the Brady Bunch. Do you know who the Brady Bunch are?
I do.
Okay.
5 brothers and 3 sisters?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brothers, 2 sisters, and that's you. So that's 8 kids? No, 7, 9 kids?
5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 9.
No, yeah. Wow.
And I'm
also.
the youngest.
And you're the youngest?
Yeah.
Holy
So
shit.
Wow.
did you
Bless
watch?
your mother.
Did you watch one of your siblings and then you said like that's what I want to do
Yeah.
too? Or
My sister Leah, I watched the behind the scenes on a short film she did. I was like, that looks fun. So I begged my mom to do it until she finally said yes.
so when you were 5 years old, what someone came to you and said like, what do you want to do when you grow up? What did you say?
I don't remember.
It was so long ago. What are you
Yeah, no,
talking
no. So
about?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's just like it's safe to say that we'll see you be an actor for a while.
Yeah.
Great,
Definitely. I
great,
mean,
great, great.
That's what I'm planning on right now. But
Well, I gotta tell
Looking
you.
good for you. It's looking good for you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no. Well, I gotta tell you, like, I absolutely know Benji. I even had to ask people today and say, "Do you guys know Benji?" And they were like,
No, everybody knows Benji.
No, they don't. People know. Do you know Lassie?
I do know last.
Yeah. So
good.
people knew Lassie.
Yeah.
People did not know
Right.
Benji.
Aw.
See, and that's why it's so wonderful that you're in this Benji.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can change that.
No, 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 no. You're no.
Exactly,
That's what I'm
for
saying.
sure.
That's what's great is that you're introducing Benji to a whole new generation of people, or like letting people like me revisit
Right.
Benji that I used to know.
It was so interesting to go to the premiere because you got to see both sides of it. You had one audience who came with their kids who got to revisit it, and then the younger audience who were seeing it for the first time, which is
So did they? So was the dog's name Benji on set? Did they bring him to the premiere?
yeah. Well, they rescued him for the film, so he was named Benji.
Wow. So his owner was the trainer? Like, is that who
Yeah.
rescued him?
Yeah.
Oh, great. What's it like to work with an animal? That's what I've always. I feel like it's-
Yes. Ashley asked the
work with
best
one
question.
every day.
The
I
no,
wanna know
only on
your
Sundays.
perspective.
Only on Sundays.
It feels like
I think it depends on the job. I mean, but for filming, it was overall really fun.
Yeah.
Because the dog was so calm. He was so easy to work with. I think there was only like one scene where he wouldn't do exactly what we wanted,
Uh-oh.
but we were stuck for like an hour and a half, and he was. Can I say?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody-
yeah.
So he was supposed to take the ropes off my hands.
Mhm, yep, I remember that scene.
Right, but he didn't want to do it. And he was, well, they put peanut butter on the ropes, but he was way more interested in the actual can of peanut butter, the jar of peanut butter. So he just
that's
kept,
a good trick.
he kept leaving the room to try and find the jar of peanut butter. So we were there for a little while. And by the end of it, I was actually desperately trying to get him to get the ropes. So
Oh my
Well,
God.
hey guys, so speaking of behaving, here's one thing. When you're watching the movie, at the end of it, there will be some credits, but there is some good like B-roll of
yeah,
like
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
the dogs like doing
really
stuff.
cute.
So stick around because like I usually kind of turn a movie off at a certain point, but luckily it kept playing and I enjoyed watching this extra scene. So make sure to do that when you're watching
You
it.
gotta always watch the credits, you guys. Also because those are people's lives that made that movie, like ours, you know? And also there's really cool B-roll at the end.
Okay, all right. So did you ever know about Benji before you were approached to do this?
well, I've heard of it, obviously. I'd never really watched it, but when I got the offer, I did watch it.
So you watched and you were like, okay, I can be that kid, and
I think the character, the character Carter is actually very, very different from Carter, but
Very different from the original?
yeah, very
Yeah.
different. Well, at least Carter's character is very different from the original.
What did your friends say when you were like, so I'm gonna
What
be in
friends?
Benji?
No.
I only got brothers and sisters. Yeah, I only got brothers and sisters. So
I think they were excited just because I was going to be in a film, but they were already used to it at that point mostly, and also they hadn't really heard of Benji, so they're just like, oh, cool. They were more excited that I was working with the dog than that it was Benji.
Same. Because I mean, that's my dream to work with a dog every day.
Right?
But
You should just get one on The Office.
I agree. I'm going to talk to my boss about that.
sometimes we have one like, out there at the studio. So like someone's babysitting one, or they'll bring one in on occasion. But
That's true.
It's temporary fulfillment.
Temporary fulfillment. No, wait a second. You talked about your friends at school. Do you go to a regular school? Are you homeschooled?
Homeschooled.
Homeschooled. Okay. And have you been homeschooled your whole life, or how does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are your brothers and sisters homeschooled as well? I mean, you basically
Yeah,
have enough kids to
everyone-
start a school.
yeah,
that's
that's
a lot
true.
of kids.
Yes.
A nice little-
We're all homeschooled.
Okay, cool. Very cool. And do you guys live in California? Sunny
Yeah,
California?
we live in California.
Oh, so you're perfect.
The more I travel, the more I appreciate California.
Really?
Wait, yeah. So this shot in New Orleans, right?
Yeah,
So was it your first time there?
yeah, definitely. I mean, it was amazing.
So was it during? Because like New Orleans gets really, really hot and muggy. So was that you were like what season were you there?
Well, I think it was either spring or summer, but I wouldn't really be able to tell because it was less hot than humid.
Oh, good. That's great.
Right, but I hated it because I'm used to it always being hot. California isn't that humid though, so I was like sweating while it was raining, and it was technically cold outside, but it was
What? That'll mess with you.
yeah.
It's worse, isn't
I
it?
think I got like 4 colds during the filming.
Ooh, that's not good.
I know what that's
It
like.
was fine though. I've had a lot growing up.
We all have. That's true. That's true. I mean,
That's how you. I mean, that's how you build your immune system.
Right.
So good for you.
So what's it like with your working with what's your sister, the girl that plays your sister? in the
Darby
film?
Camp.
Darby. Now, and you interviewed her on a red carpet, yeah?
No. I interviewed his real sister.
his real sister.
His real sister,
Oh, okay.
Talitha Bateman, who is actually in Love, Simon right now in the theaters. Great movie. She's awesome in it. Go see her. But we actually met her and Amy actually, but I actually got to talk to her on the red carpet for her movie Geostorm with Gerard Butler. So, but Darby has...
I think I saw you there, actually.
Oh,
Probably.
Wow.
I mean, hey, I'm the only good-looking Asian guy on the carpet asking questions, so you probably did see me. That's true. That's true. No, but when it comes to, so is she related to Darby's not related to
No,
the
she's not
director
directly.
or the original, like, because Joe Camp did the original Benji. And then his son did this version, but then there's then Darby, your co-star, is in
not
this,
related.
but she's not related at all.
Yeah, if you read every review, it has to put in parentheses, Darby Camp not related to the director. But no, she's not related to him. Although that would have been really interesting.
Was it fun working with her?
Yeah, super fun. I think we definitely got to create a bond on and off set.
What'd you do offset?
Well, mostly just explored New Orleans and or New Orleans.
However
Either
you
way,
wanna say it.
either.
Nolans, as they
Nolans,
call it.
yes.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, because it was such a new city, so I think we mostly just explored Nolans.
And food.
Yeah, the food was amazing.
Describe
Oh,
that.
I'll tell you what. We all love food almost as much as we love movies and Netflix. So you got to tell us, man. What's like when I go there? I've never been. When I go there, what's like what I got chow down on?
Everything, really. I mean, I didn't have any meal there that I didn't like. But I think like the classics, alligator meat, which you
Yeah, I was about to ask you that.
I've only ever seen it in New Orleans. And
Does it taste like chicken?
beignets. Not really.
People always say it tastes like chicken.
I was
but-
actually
Chewy
pescatarian at the time, but I broke it just to try alligator meat, and it was so good. I think it's actually probably my favorite meat that I've ever tried.
Alligator meat?
Wow.
Well, I think also it had to do with how they prepared it, because it was like just the right amount of spicy and tangy.
Maybe you were just hungry for meat because you hadn't eaten any in a long time.
No, pescatarian. He eats fish.
Well, not anymore, but yeah,
Well, what are you now?
vegan.
Oh, vegan now. Why are you vegan? Talk to us about this. It's all Hollywood. We want to hear all about it.
Okay, well, I watched a documentary.
Which
about
one?
it. I think it's Earthlings. Well, I watched a few since then, but
Okay.
Earthlings I watched.
All right. And so you've been vegan. What's that like?
Actually, it was really relieving the first few weeks because I felt a lot healthier. But at this point, it's not really hard at this point. You don't get cravings anymore. It's just kind of the same as it was before. But
Okay.
yes, and also you feel less guilty though, or at least I do.
For like animals?
Right.
Okay.
And how long have you been vegan?
Since New Year's 2016.
What? That is so you're vegan
How
all
about
throughout Benji.
how about everybody else in the family?
Yeah.
I was, well, not all of us are vegan, but I was one of the last to turn. So Talitha, who really started it, has been vegan since she was like 8.
Okay, so your mom's like used
And
to
wait, how
making
did-
vegan
how- wait.
food.
Yeah, she wasn't vegan until very recently. We actually turned.
You converted her.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Wait, how old's Talitha
Rub
now?
some of that off on me. 'Cause I could
16.
She's 16. So if a guy comes knocking and wants to take her on a date and he's just like, let's go to a steakhouse, she's gonna shoot him down, right?
Well, he should know.
Well,
if he
actually,
did his research.
there's almost, not always, but it's surprisingly a lot of restaurants have options, like even steakhouses. I've been to a few and just got like.
No, there's like you can like mashed
Right,
mashed potatoes.
Well, it
there's
depends.
butter.
Sometimes
It's got
they,
butter.
they
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it depends. Sometimes they have like, well, normally they have cream and butter, but a lot of times
good
they
stuff.
don't.
Man, because I'll tell you what, to celebrate you being here, I'm gonna have like a meat lover's pizza delivered. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Well,
just
actually,
kidding.
Every time someone orders pizza, I just pick off the cheese and the meat. And I actually, even before I went vegan, I've always enjoyed it better that way. I thought the cheese absorbs so much flavor. You don't really get the flavor of the crust and the basil and the tomato.
Such a sophisticated young
I
man.
know.
Dang it.
I think you need to be a judge on, what is it, Chopped?
Chopped, yeah.
Chopped, yeah.
Chopped is a good one.
Or pretty much any food
Any of the
network.
cooking shows?
Yeah.
Master Chef.
That'd be
Although
fun.
they always only take like one bite, and I could never do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I would secretly take one bite, and then I would just have
Like,
have
just
it
eat the rest.
back there.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to use the restroom now. Be back soon.
I'm gonna
Stay
take
with
this
wine
plate with me.
tasting.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna taste it.
back to Benji for a second. So,
Right.
okay, when you get the call to say, okay, we want you to audition, which scene were you reading for? What was like? Do you remember what the
Ad-lib.
first scene was?
It was ad-lib. Well, it was the scene that I auditioned for wasn't in the movie. Well, I guess it kind of was, but it was very different. It was the scene where I have to give it away, but how they had it written was, please feel free to add anything in between. And we were also in the forest, which never happened in the movie, so...
Then at what point before they said you have the part, did they bring a dog to kind of see how you would be, or
It was a
just
pillow.
it was a pillow?
Yeah,
oh,
we used
okay.
a pillow.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Well, have you ever seen the movie? I mean, you're older, so it's okay. But like, have you ever seen the movie E.T.?
I have.
Did you ever go on YouTube and watch Henry
The audition
Thomas's
tape,
where
yeah.
it's about a fish,
That's
but he's
when
just
I actually-
totally bawling,
Right.
and Steven Spielberg's like, you got the part.
Yeah, that was... I've seen that audition so many times. When I first started acting, I watched it a lot for inspiration.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, that's something good to pull from.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah. Do you, I mean, obviously this is a movie about a dog and 4 dogs. Does your family have any pets, either dogs or other?
Well, I grew up with a lot of dogs, but currently we have 4 bunnies.
4 bunnies.
Or 3.5,
okay.
really, because one is like this big.
Okay, that's what you meant by the half. I was curious where you
Yeah,
were going.
like, you have the ears or do you have the tail? What's going on?
Gotcha.
Cute.
So you basically had no fear of like, I mean, obviously if you're gonna be doing a dog movie, you had like no fear of dogs, or it wasn't like I've got to acquaint myself with
Right.
like with an animal.
Yeah.
And
It's actually funny because when I first moved down to LA, I was attacked by 2 dogs within like the first 2 weeks, so I was afraid of dogs for a while.
Oh my gosh.
And then I did a IAMS commercial. And after that, I had the same love of dogs that I've had ever since.
Thank you. I am.
how did you get attacked by a dog?
Well, the first one, I was on a hiking trail, and it was,
Yeah, that'll happen.
it was a Chihuahua, and the
Yeah, Chihuahuas are
very irresponsible
owner. Mm-hmm.
They didn't even care, actually. They were laughing, which was really annoying. But
That's
I
not
think
cool.
because they thought it was a little dog, so it couldn't have really hurt me. And it didn't really hurt me, but it definitely scared me. But it was off the leash, so it bit my ankle.
Oh,
And then the second one, I wasn't really attacked, and it never bit me or anything. But it was off the leash, and I had to jump up on a car, and it couldn't grab me, and it was a bigger dog, so that one scared me a lot more.
So Benji and then the junkyard dog, they were totally cool, like chill.
Yeah, no, so nice, so sweet. Also, I think for the second dog, which was the bigger dog, I don't want to say it was my fault, but I was acting kind of strange around it since I had. It
You were
was
a little
after
nervous,
the Chihuahua,
maybe. Yeah.
right?
They can sense it. They can. Dogs
Yeah.
know.
Oh, interesting.
What did you do to bond with Benji?
Well, we had like a week of. Well, it was kind of training. We worked out some of the stunts, but I think it was mostly just for bonding, and I fed him treats and pet him and that type of stuff. So.
So then you. So
That
then
would work
it's-
for me too.
Wait, so then you and Darby together separately, like at just different times whenever you guys were available.
Well, yeah, we mostly did it together because that was part of our schedule, so we had to do it really. Because we were already in New Orleans at that point, so we had nothing else to do. But I think we each had some individual days as well.
So when you pop the movie on and you watch the movie, obviously like the opening credits are going to be. Wait, was it you or was it the dog? It's probably the dog, right?
Well, no,
with
the
Benji.
dog's last because it's and introducing Benji.
Okay, well normally, okay, this is my favorite. So when you know you're going to be in a movie and you're allowed to like watch the movie, do you just if it's on the theater, do you just like scroll to yourself first? Because that's what I do every time luckily
Yes. That's 'cause
luckily
you're
for me, like on this show, it opens up on me, so I don't have to scroll past people.
my
But sometimes it's like I was like, oh, that's Ashley talking, and I'll just scroll past her.
I
and,
apologize.
And I'll wait for somebody else. So I wanted
I
to
want
know,
to see
like,
the movie. That's mostly because also a lot of the scenes I didn't film, so I didn't
Yeah, you
really
didn't get
get
to
to
see them.
see.
yeah, okay.
And a lot of them aren't in the table read, so you don't really even get the idea of it beforehand.
I want to ask you about some of the scenes in the movie. I mean, it's a movie, obviously, I think definitely safe for kids to watch, family friendly. But like, there were some parts that were kind of scary. Did you ever feel nervous shooting some
Well,
of those kind of intense scenes?
I started off with 90% horror. I think I've done like 3 horror.
Yeah, you know,
films.
Lights Out. I've seen Lights Out, and
No, so not really because of because I did all the tour, I wasn't nervous or anything like that.
weren't scared?
I
Okay.
mean, I was, if anything, I get more nervous to have to, I guess, act scared, because that's one of the harder things to do in acting.
Sure.
But
Boo. No, I'm just kidding. I was gonna try to scare him, but I,
Clearly, yeah.
great.
I
yeah.
don't know, I was,
no, that was. I'm just gonna do it at a random
Okay.
time. You won't know.
Did you take acting lessons, or did this all
No.
come natural to you,
well,
or from your family maybe?
I've never taken acting lessons, but I
Good
don't
for you.
think, I think it would honestly mess me up, because, I mean, obviously it works wonders for a lot of people, but it would, for me at least, I think it would come across robotic rather than more natural.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
depends on the person, obviously.
Yeah, you've got it. I saw your film. You've got it down. I don't think you need class.
Thank you.
So that must just come naturally, I guess, from being around, seeing your
Right.
family go through this, and just kind of feeling at ease on set and around.
So then,
Not all of us are actors, but I think, yeah, all of us have been in creative arts at some point or another, whether it's like painting or poetry. So, yeah.
Wow, kudos to mom.
So then who- so
may
then-
or may not be in
so
studio.
do you just go, like, is there a specific person in your family that you go to say, like, hey, let's throw some lines, or just anybody who's
Yeah.
available?
Well, I normally run my lines with Talitha, but before my sister Leah moved out, I would do them with her a lot.
I feel like you guys could make your own movie just all together.
No, you guys were in. You guys were in. Yeah, you guys were in.
Well, it wasn't like, it was just homemade when we were like 8.
Oh,
We
okay.
made a few of them. And actually, we did a lot of reversed films where we would we had these banisters.
Yeah,
and arms,
yeah, uh-huh.
So we would drop down and then film fight scenes in reverse and then reverse them.
That's awesome.
So it looks like we jump up in the end.
Nice.
Oh, very.
I think that was a big part of what shaped me wanting to become an actor.
It sounds like it.
So now when when your agent or your manager call, your people call you, and you
Right.
sit there and say, listen, I need an action adventure where I'm doing some physical things, because otherwise, just playing with dogs thing's not working for me right now.
Every time. No. I mean, I love all genres. It really just depends on the script and the character, I think, and the crew, obviously.
Is there something that you've been given, and then you've read it and you're like, no, I don't really like this?
Not. I mean, sometimes I've just not enjoyed the scripts, but I think mostly if I were to turn down an audition, it normally has something I morally disagree with or I'm not
Great.
comfortable filming. But as far as just a bad script goes, I normally just audition to make friends, if that makes sense.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Good for you. We'll talk about morals. Okay, guys, so really quick, our fearless leader, Maria Menounos, has built these awesome studios for us and lets us, provides it for us. So, I just wanted to sit there and let you guys know a little bit something. If you want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life, for those who do, we've got the podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition, is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversation with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life, from health and wellness to career, relationships, finance, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know that Netflix Picks sent you.
right.
Conversation with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. Check it out.
It's really great. I love her podcast. It's also on SiriusXM, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And her website has a newsletter that it's mostly for, I think, the girl network out there, but Hello Every Girl. She has a weekly newsletter that you can subscribe to as well, which I personally subscribe to. Or not weekly, I'm sorry, monthly. It's monthly.
So at some point,
stuff.
you're going to see this beautiful woman. It's probably going to be Maria, at a carpet or some event, and you're going to be like, dude, I've been to your studios.
Yeah. She's
Great.
the one that makes us all look as beautiful as we do in these lights. I mean, me.
Good job.
Well, so, I mean, have you, okay, so you've done a family film now, and you've been in kind of a horror film. When you're on set, is it for a horror film, is it scary? Is it?
Not really, because as soon as they say cut, it's just the same as any other set. You're talking to cast members, talking to crew members, and it's all pretend. So not really, I would say. I mean, sometimes if you're really into character while you're filming, you per se aren't really scared, but you can feel the fear that your character would feel. But you don't really get scared in between takes by the scary monster.
So were you allowed to watch Lights Out?
Yeah.
Okay, you were allowed to watch it. Okay.
Does the movie scare you when you watch it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually.
okay.
That's great. No, that's even
Thank
better.
God.
That's even better.
The first time I watched it, so many of the scenes I hadn't read or seen being filmed, so I didn't know what was happening. So I actually did get scared as if I were an audience member. So that was fun.
What is your dream role?
As in like a character that already exists if they were to make it? Or...
Yeah.
Anything, like if there's like a certain actor that like of stuff that you've liked, or like some movie that you've watched is like if like that was made like back in my day,
Right.
then that's what.
Maybe if they remade Percy Jackson into like a TV series, I think it would work better as, but with a younger cast.
Hey, he's pitching it right
that's
now.
amazing.
Percy
You heard it
Jackson
here
and the
first.
Olympians. Absolutely, I could absolutely see you in that show.
Yeah.
As a TV show or as another movie version of it. That's great.
I would say probably a TV show because there's too much to fit into movies.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you want to be a producer as well? Director?
I think every actor wants to be.
What I really want to do is direct,
Well, I think mostly I'm still gonna act, but I definitely want to direct at least a few things and write
What kind of genre or anything?
anything.
Anything.
Have you written
Although-
any movies lately?
Not movies. I wrote most of the short films that we filmed as kids, but I also write a lot of short stories just for fun.
Great. You can make those into films.
Yeah.
Or just even a collection of like a book. I mean, every these days everybody's like publishing stuff.
Right.
So.
My brother's actually writing a fiction novel, but I've tried to, and I would always get like 30, 40 pages in and be like, this took me 4 months to get this far. I'm never gonna finish it. So maybe,
And he's only 13. I don't even remember
That's
what I was
cool.
doing
Oh
at
my
13.
God.
I was not sitting writing. I mean, I don't even know if I could write a 3-page like book report. So.
Oh, I've never. Well, sometimes I do, but I don't really normally enjoy writing essays or things like that, even though I love writing, because it feels forced and you're not really writing about something you want to write about. But when I'm writing for me, it's a lot more fun.
Okay, so what do you do for fun when you're not acting? When you're not like being homeschooled?
Right.
What is it that you enjoy?
I enjoy almost everything really, but I do a lot of hiking, rock climbing, archery, a lot I lot of sports.
So will I see you like at
archery.
like Runyon Canyon maybe Runyon?
Well, when I lived closer, I went to Runyon a lot, but recently I don't know the name of it, but there's a really cool hiking trail in Santa Clarita that I go to.
Santa Clarita. That's out there.
There's a diet.
That's right.
The show. Yeah,
That's
maybe I
right.
do. You probably can't watch. Actually, you know what? We're on Netflix picks. What are you watching on Netflix?
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Black Mirror.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, you're,
She
I
won't
can't do
watch
it.
She's too
I can't do
scared.
it. I can't do it.
It's
Like
scary.
I
It's not-
legitimately got a little
mean-
uneasy watching Benji. I cannot do.
It's not-
Black Mirror for sure.
Traditionally scary in like the sense of a thriller or horror film, but I mean it's scary
It messes with your mind.
thinking about
It's awful.
where civilization is gonna end up. Like,
Have you ever seen Twilight Zone?
I haven't.
Oh
watch it
man,
now.
I mean, if you can power through some old school black and white, the storytelling in Twilight Zone is amazing.
Some of my favorite films are black and white. So.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite film?
Which one?
I can't pick one, but as far
Good
as black
answer.
and white goes, 12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men. Wow. Good.
Did you watch the there's I think there's an update of that too.
Did they remake it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never seen it, but I'm sure it's great.
No, I've been told. Yeah, I know the story of it, so that's great.
One of my friends is actually in a play they're doing, a Broadway play. I don't know, it's not Broadway, but like a play they're doing.
Cool.
Wait, what else besides Black Mirror?
On Netflix, I should have finished it a while ago, but I just finished Stranger Things season 2,
Oh.
Yeah.
and
It's Amy's like all-time favorite.
I love it so much.
still waiting for 13 Reasons Why season 2.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Do you know any of the kid actors from Stranger Things?
No, my sister knows, I think Gaten, but I don't know anyone.
But
Small
but then
community.
did you get to meet Catherine Langford at the premiere?
I did, yeah. Well, kind of. I waved and she waved, but I didn't really get a picture.
Counts. We'll count it.
Counts.
Yep.
You're like, my sister. My sister. Come on, really? That's so funny.
Well, she was really busy with the curtain and everything.
Well, Gabriel, can we ask you, or Amy, you go ahead too. I wanted to know if you're working on anything at the
Well,
moment.
we're gonna talk about Dangerous Book for Boys,
Right.
which I saw the trailer. It looks amazing. It looks like if Goonies were a TV series. Have you ever seen the movie Goonies?
I have.
Right?
Which
I
one?
mean-
They made a lot.
No, Goonies.
Like,
There's only one Goonies.
The original, but didn't they did like spin-offs?
No.
Maybe are you
That was
thinking
something-
Goosebumps?
Well, no, not
That's
Goosebumps.
also
I've seen the original. They never did like. I thought they did a pirate one.
No, there's only one. Believe me, I am like when I
something
was a
else out
kid,
there.
that's like one
I
of my
watched-
all-time favorite movies.
I watched
So,
I watched Goonies. Yeah.
but no, so tell us about Dangerous Book for Boys.
Dangerous Book for Boys. Should I look at the camera?
Yeah.
Talk to
Dangerous
them.
Book for Boys is a TV show following a family struggling with the loss of their father. But he wrote a book for his 3 sons, and the youngest son, who I play, Ryan McKenna, it sparks his imagination, and he starts having all these crazy fantasies.
Yeah, you go to like space.
Yeah, space the first episode, and then a bunch of different ones in the second one. It's mostly following. I think each episode there's a fantasy dealing with a certain life lesson. So.
So
That's beautiful.
wait, so did that fulfill your kind of like your adventure, like when you were doing like what you were talking about, how you like used to like make the reverse the things, like I mean
Right.
like this kind of looks like adventurous like that.
Yeah, it's adventure fantasy, so it's definitely.
And that's on Amazon. I think we can catch it,
It
on Amazon.
drops
Yeah,
it drops
Amazon Prime, March
yep,
30th.
Yep, on Friday. Yeah, Friday, March 30th.
Coming right up. That's going to be exciting to have a new series
So
out.
excited. It's like 4 days. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, 4 to 6 days.
5.
Today's the 24th, right?
It's the 25th.
I never know. I just.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
the
mean, yeah, and then
25th.
you're gonna be able to see with all this like the post stuff all put in. So that's probably why you're excited, right?
No, yeah, very excited. Yeah, I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Because they're on Amazon now, or did they slip you like some screeners to watch first?
Yeah, well, we actually did like a private screening of the first 2, but the 3rd, 4th, and 5th and 6th weren't done at that time, and we didn't really have time to do another one, so.
So this is 6 episodes.
Yeah, 6 episodes.
And then will it move into another? Then like after they drop the 6th episode, will like is it just 6 episodes, or like there's a possibility for more seasons?
There's a possibility, but we
You
don't- we
won't know
don't
that till
yet.
later. Yeah, you won't know that till way later. Okay.
You can have a big party with your friends to watch it. Since you haven't seen the episodes, it's a big
Right.
deal.
Hopefully, yeah, it'll be fun.
Gotta ask your mom. Gotta be...
Yeah, does anybody like when you're going to these carpets or anything, does anybody like hit you up to say like, dude, will you take me? Or like do they only invite you, or
not
do you have a special
really.
lady in your life that you take, or I don't know, like
No, I think most of my friends are, at least to some point, antisocial. Well, not antisocial, but
carpets are hard. We do carpets. They're
How
kind of
did I-
hard if you're not used to it.
introverted. There we go. I can't believe I forgot the word, but most of them are very introverted. So they would be probably pretty embarrassed to come.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years? You're 13 right now, so 23. Where do you see yourself?
Well, he's gonna be finishing up like the Percy series, revisiting
there's so much
that,
to
and
do.
then there'll be like 10 seasons of Dangerous Book for Boys, and it'll be like Dangerous Book for Men, and then no, but seriously, yeah, in 10 years, where like we'll ask the question, where do you?
Hopefully still doing acting. Hope that's going well. I think with a girlfriend at that time.
Sure.
But I don't really know. I don't have a plan per se.
I mean, that's the best because sometimes life just brings
Right.
stuff to you, and it seems like you're
That's
doing
what's happened so far.
Exactly, like really
Especially
well.
with acting, it's so spontaneous. You never really know when you're going to be working again, or
You know, and what's really cool too is that you can always like, I mean, you're so young. It's like you can take a break from it. I mean, there's plenty of like actors out there like Natalie Portman,
Right.
Dakota Fanning. They go to get their like Ivy League college degrees. They take a break and
Right.
then they come back to acting. So I mean, sky's the limit for you.
thanks.
That's awesome.
You can also come back and check this tape in 10 years because it'll still be here on the internet forever and see what you said. It'll be like a time capsule.
Right.
Is there anything you want to say to your 23-year-old self?
Hope everything's going well.
Oh, hey, that's a good. That's great. That's great. All right, guys. So before we wrap, I'm gonna go to Amy, Cassandra, Martinez, and say, what are your 3 picks that people should be watching
Oh yes.
before?
Okay, so Jessica Jones, if you haven't.
You want to talk about it?
Well, I forgot. I should have said that.
No, there's a lot of stuff on Netflix.
I can't talk that much about it because I've only seen the first 3 episodes.
But you're in. Okay, so she's recommending Jessica Jones.
Yes, Jessica
Keep going.
Jones. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is actually on Netflix.
It's a great movie.
Love that. And I know I mentioned this one earlier, but my friends are still texting me about it. Queer Eye. If you have not jumped on that bandwagon, do it now. they're freaking out. They're like, "This is amazing!" Like,
Do you
yes.
want me to get Cromwell Braun on our show?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll ask him.
You got the hookup.
Ashley?
Just
Ashley Chaney?
dropping some names over here. Well, as you guys can
Oh,
tell,
I'm sorry. Let me go pick that up.
Yeah,
Hold on.
pick that up real quick. I've been sick, if you can't tell, excuse my coughing. So I've had a lot of time with the old Netflix, and what I'm watching, right now and loving, Ugly Delicious. For all my foodies out there, if you're not on it, get on it. It's like it satiates that like Bourdain hole that's missing in a lot of our lives because there's not new Bourdain episodes. So if you guys are jonesing for some Bourdain, hit up Ugly Delicious. And then there's this other show called Nailed It, which is like, I'm sure it's a
Gabriel
hashtag.
agrees. That's great.
Have you seen Nailed It?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen a lot of
Well, the concept alone is basically it's like a baking show where people try to recreate these like
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and everybody is awful at it, and I can just so relate. So get on Nailed It, and I don't know if you guys bake anything. Let us know. Tag us.
And next week, Ashley's going to cover a lot of those food shows because, you know, like I said, this week we're covering family. You know, we've covered writers and producers on this show, and we've covered a little bit of superhero, sci-fi. So she's going to cover food for us next week, so she'll really give us, like, dive deeper into these shows that she's talking about. My recommends are, I just watched Extraordinary Homes, which...
Yep, watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they used a airplane to build someone's house.
pretty
In
cool.
in like the
That's amazing.
Santa Monica mountains somewhere.
Yep.
Into the Badlands season 2 dropped on Netflix, so like I'm eagerly like watching that. And they also dropped a trailer for Into the Badlands season 3, so that's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to catch up. And my last one, hey, the old Benji and the new
Yeah,
Benji,
they're both on
yeah.
Yeah.
So
good.
Amy Cassandra Martinez, where can everybody find you?
On all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ, and make sure that you are on my YouTube channel as well. There's a lot of stuff coming. So.
And Gabriel Bateman, thank you so much for being here. Where can your audience, our audience, find you on social media?
on Instagram and
Yeah.
Instagram. Gabriel Michael Bateman, just at Gabriel Michael Bateman, and Twitter at the number 1 Gabriel Michael.
Ashley Chaney?
Yes, I just tagged Gabriel in one of my stories on Instagram, which if you want to find me on Instagram, you can do that at Ashley on Camera, and let's talk there. Ashley on Camera.
And guys, you can find me exclusively on Twitter. That's Steve Kauffman, Kaufman. Now, actually, I'm Rick Hong. You can find me on all social media at Rick Hong, RICKHUNG. And until next week, where we're talking food, so either be hungry or not be hungry, or like
Always
maybe
come hungry. Always come hungry.
Yeah, come hungry. And thank you, Gabriel, for being here.
Yeah,
Watch
Gabriel.
Benji
Yay.
next week. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Benji!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.